Your parents' financial advice is bankrupting you because 8 of the 12 things on this list were genuinely smart purchases a decade ago, and the companies selling them are counting on you not to notice what changed. Let me be real with you for a second. The average American household spent over $78,000 last year, and wages, they only grew by about 3.8%. Meanwhile, spending jumped 5.1%. That gap right there, that's the trap. That's the silent thief operating in plain sight, draining your wealth while you scroll through your phone, click add to cart, and tap your card without thinking twice. And here's the thing that really gets me. A huge chunk of that money isn't going toward things people genuinely need or even want. It's going toward things that used to make sense, maybe 5 or 10 years ago, but have quietly transformed into financial sinkholes disguised as normal life. The rules changed, the pricing changed, the psychology behind every transaction became more sophisticated. But most people kept spending the same way they always did, just with less money left over at the end of the month and no idea why. So today we are breaking down 12 things that are absolutely no longer worth your money in 2026. Some of these will confirm what you already suspected, others might genuinely surprise you, but all of them share one thing in common. They are extracting maximum dollars from your wallet while delivering minimum real value in return. Let's get into it. Number 1 is food delivery apps. We're talking DoorDash, Uber Eats, Grubhub, all of them. These platforms completely changed how we interact with food, and they changed how brutally expensive that interaction gets. Here is the math that most people never actually sit down and do. Restaurants get charged somewhere between 15 and 30% in commission fees by these platforms. And restaurants are not eating that cost. They pass it directly to you through inflated menu prices. Research shows that items on delivery apps run roughly 25% higher than what you would pay going directly to the restaurant. And that is before a single additional charge hits your screen. Then comes the delivery fee, then the service fee, the small order fee if your total does not hit their minimum, the tip for the driver, sometimes a surge pricing charge during busy hours. A meal that costs $12 at the restaurant can balloon to $22 or more through the app. That is an 83% markup for the privilege of someone else driving it to your door. On top of that, prices on these platforms have climbed an additional 8 to 12% since 2023 alone. And the apps themselves are engineered to encourage you to keep ordering. The interfaces minimize friction. The subscription tiers like DashPass create the psychological illusion that you are saving money while locking you into a habit of consistent spending. If someone orders delivery twice a week at a $15 premium per order compared to getting the food themselves, that habit costs an extra $1,560 annually. Put that number into a calculator at 8% annual investment returns over 20 years, and you are looking at nearly $8,000 per year of that one habit, compounding into a staggering number. Occasional emergency delivery? Totally reasonable. A weekly or daily habit? That is a wealth transfer from your bank account straight to corporate shareholders. Number 2 is new cars. The moment you drive a brand new car off that dealership lot, it loses approximately 20% of its value. On the average new car in 2026, which is hovering around $48,000, that means $9,600 of your money evaporates before you even reach the first traffic light. By the end of year 1, depreciation typically lands between 25 and 30%. Your $48,000 car is now worth somewhere between $33,000 and $36,000. You just lost more than an entire year of rent for many Americans. And if you financed most of that purchase, which most buyers do, you are now likely in negative equity. You owe more than the car is worth. You are trapped in that loan, unable to sell without writing an additional check just to cover the difference. Meanwhile, the average new car payment hit $738 per month in late 2025, according to Edmunds. That is nearly $9,000 a year before you factor in insurance, gas, and maintenance. 5-year-old vehicles represent the sweet spot that new car buyers consistently ignore. The steepest depreciation has already been absorbed by someone else. These cars still run reliably. Modern vehicles regularly reach 150,000 to 200,000 miles with basic maintenance. You buy a reliable 5-year-old car, drive it for a few years, sell it before major repairs become likely, and your depreciation loss during that ownership window is minimal. Sometimes you can sell for close to what you paid. Data on millionaire behavior is consistent on this point. The typical millionaire drives a Toyota, Honda, or Ford with a median purchase price around $31,000. They understand that a car is transportation, not a trophy. Number 3 is sit-down restaurants as a frequent habit. Restaurant prices have increased 35% since 2019, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. A burger at a casual restaurant costs $16 to $22 in most markets. Add a drink, maybe an appetizer, and a single person is approaching $40 before tip. 2 people having a decent dinner with drinks can easily land at $100 to $140. That same meal might have cost $50 to $60 just 5 years ago. The value proposition has completely flipped. Prices climbed while portions shrank. Drinks are where the model becomes almost absurd. A $14 cocktail contains about $2 worth of ingredients. A $4 soda costs the restaurant roughly 15 cents. Coffee carries markups in the thousands of percent range. These items exist because food margins are compressed and restaurants need beverage profits to survive. The time cost compounds everything. A sit-down dinner takes 90 minutes to 2 hours. You could make a better meal at home in 30 minutes for a fraction of the price. A family spending $200 weekly on dining out, which is not unusual in expensive markets, is burning through $10,400 annually. That same family could eat incredibly well at home for around $600 a month and save thousands while probably eating healthier food. Celebrations and special occasions still absolutely justify going out. The weekly or twice-weekly restaurant habit in 2026 prices is an economic choice that simply does not add up anymore. Number 4 is the streaming bundle trap. The original streaming promise was beautiful. Cut cable, pay $8 a month, access unlimited content. That deal is completely dead. Netflix standard plan is now $15.49 per month. Add Disney Plus, Hulu, HBO Max, Amazon Prime Video, Apple TV Plus, Peacock, and Paramount Plus, and you are paying over $100 monthly. That is $1,200 per year, which equals or exceeds what many people used to pay for the cable they left behind. And the fragmentation is intentional. Platforms deliberately move content around and lock shows behind exclusive deals to make sure you cannot cancel any single service. They are rebuilding the cable bundle piece by piece, except now each piece has its own bill. The average American household subscribes to 4.5 streaming services, according to Deloitte's 2025 Digital Media Trends Report. That is $60 to $75 a month watching screens. The solution is simple, but requires discipline most people resist. Subscribe to one service. Watch everything you want. Cancel. Move to the next one. Rotate sequentially instead of maintaining all of them simultaneously. This costs $12 to $18 a month instead of $75. You still watch everything. You just watch it on a schedule you control instead of one that benefits the platforms. Number 5 is fast food, and this one genuinely hurts because the entire value proposition of fast food was cheap and convenient. Cheap is gone. A Big Mac combo costs $12 to $15 in most markets now. A Chipotle bowl approaches $15. Even historically, budget chains like Taco Bell now charge $10 to $12 for a basic meal. Fast food prices have increased 55% since 2019. Menu prices rose nearly 10% in 2023 alone and have not reversed. You are now paying premium prices for low-nutrition food, while a comparable meal you make at home costs less and takes only marginally more time. A regular fast food habit runs the average customer $3,000 to $5,000 annually. That is money actively working against your health while corporations have correctly identified that you will keep paying regardless of price because the habit is deeply embedded. At $4 to $6 a meal, fast food made sense. At $12 to $15, it fails every reasonable value test. Number 6 is upgrading to the latest generation tech every single year. The new iPhone costs around $1,200. Compared to the phone you already own, it takes marginally better photos, runs identical apps at almost identical speeds, and delivers essentially the same daily experience. The performance gap between smartphone generations has collapsed to near zero for any normal user. The iPhone 16 versus the iPhone 13 provides almost nothing the average person would notice doing everyday tasks. Same social media, same email, same calls, same everything. Yet millions of people line up annually to spend $1,200 chasing imperceptible improvement, and the system is rigged to keep you upgrading. Software updates slow older devices. Batteries are designed to degrade over time. Repair costs are engineered to approach replacement costs. The entire ecosystem is built around constant replacement. The smarter move is purchasing technology 1 or 2 generations behind the latest release. A refurbished iPhone 14 costs roughly half what a new iPhone 16 costs and handles everything the average person actually does on a phone. Someone buying flagship phones every 2 years spends approximately $600 annually just on depreciation. Over a career, that money compounding in investments would represent tens of thousands of dollars spent chasing 3% sharper photos. Number 7 is expensive weddings. The average American wedding now costs approximately $35,000 according to recent industry data. $35,000 for one day, one party, roughly 6 hours of your life. And research is clear that financial stress is a leading cause of divorce. Starting a marriage with $35,000 in debt or $35,000 fewer dollars in savings is a mathematically strange way to begin a partnership that will constantly be tested by financial pressure. The wedding industry has mastered emotional pricing. Everything doubles or triples in cost the moment the word wedding gets attached. A photographer charges double for wedding work versus family portraits. Flowers triple for bridal arrangements. A venue that books at $500 for a corporate event quotes $5,000 for a reception. You are not paying for superior quality. You are paying for the label. Research from Emory University found that couples spending $50,000 or more on weddings are 46% more likely to divorce than those spending under $10,000. Courthouse weddings are completely legal. Backyard receptions create real memories. The marriage is what matters, not the spectacle celebrating it. If you can genuinely afford a large wedding from savings without touching retirement contributions or emergency funds, spend what you want. But if that $35,000 is going on credit cards or delaying a house down payment, you are trading long-term financial security for short-term photographs that do not pay dividends. Number 8 is luxury travel beyond your actual means. Airfare is up 30 to 40% since 2019. A week-long vacation for two, counting flights, hotels, food, and activities, easily runs $4,000 to $6,000. A family Disney trip now averages $8,000 to $10,000 for a single week. For someone earning $50,000 annually, that Disney trip represents 20% of gross income. Travel genuinely has value. Experiences enrich life in ways that material purchases simply cannot. The problem is not travel itself. It is travel funded by credit cards that generate debt you carry for years after the memories fade. Budget travel captures most of the experience at a fraction of the cost. Road trips instead of flights. Rentals instead of resort hotels. Cooking instead of restaurants every single night. Local exploration instead of expensive packaged excursions. The luxury travel industry raised prices because enough people kept paying regardless. You do not have to keep volunteering to participate. Number 9 is buy now, pay later. Financing for everyday purchases. Affirm, Klarna, Afterpay. These services have made financing available for literally everything, from $50 shoes to $30 skincare products. The pitch sounds harmless. Split it into 4 payments. No interest if you pay on time. The reality is that these services are profitable businesses, and they are profitable because people spend more, miss payments, and accumulate debt on purchases they would never have made paying up front. Research shows buy now, pay later. Users spend 10 to 40% more than they would paying immediately. Your brain processes four payments of $50 as smaller and more manageable than a $200 purchase, even though the total is identical. Nearly 40% of users have missed at least one payment, according to Federal Reserve Bank research. Late fees accumulate. Some services charge interest on remaining balances. The free financing becomes expensive debt. If you cannot pay cash for something today, you cannot actually afford it. Houses and sometimes vehicles represent exceptions because of their long-term utility. But financing a blender, financing a hoodie, that is consumption debt, the most destructive category of all. Number 10 is name brand products when store brands perform identically. A bottle of Tide detergent costs $12 to $15. The store brand version, often manufactured in the exact same facility, costs $6 to $8. Consumer Reports testing consistently demonstrates that store brands match or exceed name brand quality across most categories. Generic ibuprofen contains the same active ingredient at the same concentration as Advil for half the price. The premium you pay for the name brand funds advertising campaigns that exist specifically to convince you the premium is worth paying. Circular logic at its most expensive. Household spending on consumer goods averages $5,000 to $7,000 annually. Switching to store brands consistently saves 25 to 40%, meaning $1,500 to $2,500 back per year for products performing identically. Designer clothing pushes this phenomenon to an extreme. An $800 to $1,200 plain hoodie from a luxury brand versus a $40 version without the logo. The material difference is marginal. The difference you are paying for is the logo itself, which means you are spending $1,000 to advertise someone else's brand on your chest. Number 11 is subscription boxes. This industry exploded into a $32 billion market built on a simple psychological principle. People love surprises. The dopamine hit from opening a mystery package triggers reward circuits similar to gambling. The anticipation frequently exceeds the satisfaction of the actual contents. A typical subscription box runs $25 to $50 monthly for products worth less than that at retail. That margin difference is how the companies profit. You are paying above retail prices for random items someone else selected, many of which you genuinely do not want. Cancellation is deliberately complicated because these businesses know that inertia keeps subscribers paying long after interest disappears. Credit card statements quietly show $35 charges for boxes sitting unopened in closets. If you want specific products, buying them directly costs less. If you enjoy the surprise element, at least recognize that you are paying a premium for entertainment rather than actual value. These services are not curating life-changing products for you. They are building recurring revenue streams by exploiting the psychology of anticipation. Number 12 is the daily premium coffee habit. A customized drink at Starbucks costs $7 to $9 in most markets. Coffee brewed at home from quality beans costs roughly 25 to 50 cents per cup. Even premium specialty beans rarely push beyond $1 per cup at home. The daily coffee shop habit at $6 a day costs $2,190 annually. Someone making coffee at home for 50 cents a day spends $182 over the same period. The difference is over $2,000 every single year. Invested at 8% annual returns over 30 years, that $2,000 annual saving becomes approximately $245,000. $250,000 over a working life for choosing to make coffee at home instead of standing in line for someone else to make it. The premium coffee shops are not selling coffee. They are selling convenience, atmosphere, and social signaling. That is worth understanding clearly before you hand over your card. If a daily coffee shop visit genuinely improves your life enough to justify $2,000 annually, and you have made that choice consciously with full awareness of the math, that is absolutely your decision to make. But most people spending that money have never once run the numbers. The habit formed automatically and the calculation never happened. Here is what all 12 of these categories share. They exploit convenience, status anxiety, psychological triggers, and human inertia. They have risen dramatically in price, while the genuine value they deliver has either stayed flat or actively declined. And they all depend on one thing to survive: people not actually running the numbers. Because when you run the numbers, everything changes. Each category on this list represents thousands of dollars annually. Combine several and you are looking at $10,000 to $20,000 in spending that generates minimal lasting satisfaction or real improvement to your life. That exact same money, invested consistently over time, compounds into genuine wealth that actually changes your circumstances and your freedom. The financial system in 2026 is engineered for unconscious spending. Every algorithm is built to trigger the next purchase. Marketing budgets exist specifically to manufacture desire for things you did not want before you saw the advertisement. Financing options strip away the natural friction of not having enough money, making spending easier than it has ever been in human history. Your only defense against all of that is awareness. Understanding what things actually cost. Understanding what they genuinely deliver in return. And understanding the gap between those two numbers before you tap your card or click checkout. None of the 12 things on this list are inherently wrong or evil purchases. Some of them might genuinely improve your life enough to justify the price in your specific situation. The real question is not whether anyone should ever spend money on these things. The question is whether you made a conscious, deliberate decision, or whether the spending just keeps happening quietly in the background while you are not paying attention. Your money is either working for you or it is working for the companies that have spent billions of dollars figuring out exactly how to take it from you. In 2026, knowing the difference between those two outcomes is worth more than anything else on this list. If this video helped you see your spending differently, give it a like and share it with someone who needs to hear it. And drop a comment below telling me which of these 12 you are cutting out first. I read every single one. Don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss my new videos. See you on the next one.